So if you just for a second close your eyes and picture the Arctic tundra in winter, you probably see this vast, beautiful, but really hostile expanse of white. I mean, temperatures are regularly hitting, what, minus 40 degrees Celsius? You picture the big survivors, the Arctic fox, maybe some musk oxen, the polar bear.
Icons, yeah. The ones everyone knows.
Exactly. But today, for this deep dive, we're going to find the quiet master of this place, an animal that has just completely hacked the Arctic code. We're talking about a small bird, maybe the most perfectly adapted non-mammal in the high north, the ptarmigan.
It is a true specialist. It's part of the grouse family, so think of it as like a very, very specialized chicken.
The very cold chicken.
A very cold, cute ball of feathers,
Sure.
basically. And it dominates the circumpolar region. We generally break them down into 3 species. You've got the white-tailed ptarmigan, which is mostly in North America. Then there's a willow and the rock ptarmigans. And they are everywhere. Eurasia, North America, all across the top of the world.
So our mission today is to figure out their blueprint. How does this fluffy little bird survive constant attacks from predators? We're talking golden eagles, Arctic foxes,
Yeah.
while also insulating itself from a cold that could freeze a person solid in just minutes. And it all starts with their most dramatic trick, their vanishing act.
It really does.
Okay, let's start there. They're like the Transformers of the bird world, right? This complete seasonal wardrobe change.
That's a great way to put it. It's their first and, you could argue, most critical line of defense. In the summer, which is super short and intense up there, their feathers are this mottled mix of rusty browns and blacks. It lets them just melt right into the rocks and the tundra vegetation.
Total camouflage.
High-level cryptic camouflage. But then, as summer fades, they get a complete overhaul. They start replacing those brown feathers with this stark, brilliant white plumage. They become, almost invisible against the snow.
And this isn't just fading, right? It's a full replacement of feathers.
A full biological replacement. And it's driven by the photoperiod, the length of daylight.
Ah, okay. So that biological timer is key. And that's where I found this really dangerous twist in the story. You'd think it times itself perfectly with the snow, but sometimes it doesn't.
That's the huge risk.
The light levels drop, their bodies say time to turn white, but the snow hasn't fallen yet.
Exactly. And that's a huge problem with climate variability now. You get these dazzlingly white ptarmigans standing out on a brown or gray rocky background.
They're just sitting ducks.
Total targets for predators who are, of course, also desperate for a meal before the deep freeze sets in. It's a massive gamble.
But I guess the evolutionary trade-off is that it's better to be exposed for a few days early than to be caught brown after the snow has fallen and is there to stay.
Precisely. Which really highlights why their other adaptations are so important. They need to be able to escape to shelter.
Ah.
And that brings us to, I think, my favorite detail.
Oh, I think I know what you're going to say. The feet.
The mammalification of their feet. It's this perfect example of convergent evolution.
So different species, same solution to the same problem.
Yes. They basically evolved their own snow boots for winter.
So describe them. What's so different about a ptarmigan's foot?
Well, in the summer, they look pretty normal, still a bit feathery. But in winter, the feathers grow incredibly dense and thick. They extend right down, completely covering the toes.
Like little furry slippers.
Furry winter boots. And they serve 3 key purposes. 1 is insulation, obviously, keeps the core body temp up. 2, they become snowshoes.
Ah, so they can walk on top of the snow.
Right, the extra surface area from the feathers, and get this, their claws actually grow longer too.
No way.
Yeah, it distributes their weight so they don't sink. It's just like how an Arctic hare's big furry feet work.
So everything out there is trying to be a hare.
In a way, yes. And those claws, they're not just for grip. That's the third purpose.
They're tools.
Essential tools for digging. When the blizzards hit, they don't just stand there and take it. They dig. They dive into the snow and carve out these little snow caves or subnivean burrows.
Which is brilliant because the air trapped in the snow is a perfect insulator.
It's incredible. It can be 30 or 40 degrees warmer inside that little burrow than it is in the open air.
And their name even points to this, right? The scientific name.
Yes. Legopus for the willow ptarmigan. It literally means hare-footed twice. It's like science was shouting, look at the feet.
Okay, so that's heat conservation for the feet, but it goes beyond that. Their whole body shape is part of this puzzle.
This is where we see a classic biological principle in action. Allen's law.
Allen's law. Remind us what that is.
It's this evolutionary idea that animals in colder climates tend to evolve shorter limbs and appendages, shorter ears, tails, legs. It's all about reducing the surface area to volume ratio.
To hold on to more heat.
To hold on to more heat, think of a snowball. A compact ball melts way slower than if you spread that same snow out flat. Less surface area means less area for heat to escape.
So the ptarmigan is trying to be a snowball.
It achieves a near-perfect orb form. They have shorter beaks, shorter legs that are almost totally hidden in feathers, a short tail. They just pull everything in tight to the body. Heat loss.
A design for zero waste. And you can actually see this difference between different populations, can't you?
That's a really fascinating detail. The populations in the absolute northernmost areas, the ones facing those -40 temperatures, they have the most extreme orb shape. But the ptarmigans you find in, say, parts of the British Isles, they're a bit lankier. They might not even do the full white plumage thing because the stakes just aren't as high.
Okay, so they've got concealment, mobility, shelter, heat retention, but you need fuel for the engine. How on earth do you find food when everything is frozen solid?
This, to me, is the most fundamental question. What do you eat when the world is covered in feet of snow? And the answer is, they eat something the sources call extremely calorie-deficient food.
Twigs.
Twigs.
They eat wood. How do you get energy from a stick to stay alive at -40?
This is where their internal biology is just. It's an engineering marvel. In winter, their diet is almost all buds from willow and birch trees, little catkins, and, tiny twigs. It's all cellulose, very hard to digest.
So how do they do it?
They have this incredible internal fermentation factory.
Yeah.
Their digestive system, specifically their cecum.
The cecum. Okay.
It's these two big pouches attached to the large intestine. In the ptarmigan, they are massive, and they're filled with specialized bacteria. The bacteria do all the work. They ferment the cellulose, breaking down those tough plant fibers into volatile fatty acids.
So the bird is basically a host for bacteria that turn wood into calories.
That's exactly it. The ptarmigan absorbs those fatty acids, and that's their fuel. It's a low-grade, constant supply of energy that gets them through the winter.
Which is also why their breeding season is so important, timing-wise.
Yeah.
The chicks can't live on twigs.
Oh, absolutely not. The chicks hatch right as the spring thaw begins, because that's when protein is available. They need insects, young green shoots, that high-protein, high-calorie kickstart to grow fast before they switch over to being herbivores for life.
Wow. Stealth, shelter, body shape, and fuel. But they're still small. They're still prey. So there has to be one more piece to this.
There is. It's social, it's community.
Safety in numbers.
Big numbers. During the winter, they abandon their small family groups and form these massive superflocks.
How big are we talking?
The sources say they can get up to 2,000 birds in a single group.
2,000. Imagine seeing that, this huge cloud of white birds against the snow.
It's an arresting sight.
But wait, why would they group up like that when food is scarce? Wouldn't that create too much competition?
It's a trade-off.
Yes.
But in winter, defense is more important than food competition. A group that large is an incredible defense against hunters like foxes or birds of prey. It creates what's called the dilution effect.
Meaning
If a fox attacks a flock of 2,000, the chaos of all those birds taking off at once makes it almost impossible for the predator to single one out. Your individual chance of being the victim drops dramatically.
the ultimate communal shield.
It really is. Though the sources do mention that sometimes you get a loner, a family that just, sticks to itself.
Yeah.
A bit too cool for school.
I like that. So to review this whole survival toolkit then, you've got the seasonal color change for invisibility, the hair-footed design for moving and digging shelter, the compact orb-like body shape for heat retention, and these huge winter flocks for protection.
You've got it. They master concealment, mobility, and heat. But that internal chemistry, that's the real miracle that makes it all work. And that actually brings me to one final thought, something for you to chew on.
Okay, lay it on us.
So we know they rely on that fermentation chamber in their gut, the cecum, to break down wood. And we know that process relies on a living colony of microbes.
Right?
So the question is, how does the ptarmigan maintain the perfect, stable internal temperature and the right pH balance inside its own digestive tract to keep those essential microbes alive and working, even while the outside temperature is trying to freeze the bird solid from the outside in?
Wow. The micro survival inside the macro survival. That is the perfect place to leave it. You've just taken in everything you need to know about the Arctic's master of disguise, the ptarmigan. We hope you found that as incredible as we did. We'll see you on the next deep dive.